Oxygen. What is there to say about oxygen? You've got oxygen in the air, you've got oxygen in the water. Oxygen is very aggressive. It likes to create oxides with basically anything, and it's the only thing keeping us from all having terminal skin cancer.
No, that's ozone. Oh, wait.
Nope, we're keeping that in.
It has 6 valence electrons, so it forms
Yes.
2 bonds most of the time.
It
And,
really
it's
likes
really
forming two
important.
bonds. Oh my god, does
Yeah.
this thing love forming two bonds?
It's really important for life because we breathe in O2 and we exhale CO2.
Yeah.
And it's the majority of the mass of water. So
It is.
both water and oxygen come from the atomic oxygen.
So something good to know about oxygen. Oxygen is very often a terminal electron acceptor. So in a lot of biological systems, that means that if there's ever a charge gradient going on where there's positive and negative regions, the negative likes to flow towards oxygen because oxygen absolutely loves having more electrons.
Yes, it is. It loves it so much that it makes molecules polar a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Alcohol groups and I don't remember any of the other
I
ones
almost
off the top of my
completely
head.
forgot. We wouldn't have alcohol if we didn't have oxygen because, like, by definition, an alcohol group is an oxygen bonded to a hydrogen. Everybody who likes drinking things, you have one element to thank and then another one to thank.
And then
actually
another
a third
one.
one because carbon.
There's 3.
But oxygen
Carbon,
is
nitrogen,
clearly the most important of them. Oxide is a term to basically refer to most things that have been bonded to oxygen, and a lot of the time this actually happens by being somewhere on Earth because of the oxygen in our air. So over time things will begin to oxidize, also known as rusting, because iron oxide is red, and that's known as rusted iron. But you can have oxides of things like copper that turns green. That's why the Statue of Liberty is green.
And Minecraft.
Yeah, that's why we have waxed, lightly weathered cut copper stairs.
Oxygen is the oxidizer.
Oxygen is responsible for, as we mentioned, alcohols. It's responsible for ethers, ketones, aldehydes, carboxylic acids, which is actually most things that end in acid are a form of a carboxylic acid, meaning that it has 2 oxygens involved. Oxygen also forms esters, anhydrides, and amides. Also a ton of other shit, but
Amides?
that's not important.
Really? I thought amides were nitrogen.
Amides are nitrogen and an oxygen bonded to the same carbon.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
As always.
Oxygen, well, believe it or not, so a lot of people ask, when they go up to the ISS or they go down into the water when you're scuba diving, why don't they just make the tank of oxygen pure oxygen?
It will kill you. It will kill you.
It will kill you. Believe it or not, oxygen is poisonous in high partial pressures. Partial pressure meaning the percentage of the pressure of the gas that it takes up. It can lead to seizures, visual field loss, twitching, pain, jerky breathing, pain, tracheobronchitis, pain. Shortness of breath.
In other words, oxygen is a lot like alcohol. Too much will kill you. But not enough will also kill you.
Eyes can bleed.
You will go through something known as oxygen withdrawal, and you'll die from it. Especially when scuba diving, this is very important. We have to be very careful with oxygen because things that involve pressure, including space travel, we have to do all this crazy math to make sure that we get enough of this thing that we're completely dependent on.
Yeah.
Oxygen is crazy wicked important for burning things. Fire comes about because of oxygen in the atmosphere. It wouldn't happen with just nitrogen. So if you've ever had a campfire, what's happening is that there's all these carbon bonds in the wood, and it gets really hot when the fire is going, and it takes that wood and the carbon in it and it strips it, and it creates carbon dioxide, which releases so much energy that you get a fire.
The reason fire is colored that way is because of the excitement of, I don't know if it's the oxygen atoms, it's some of the atoms, I think it's the carbon mainly. The excitement of the electrons emits specific frequencies that then your eye picks up as like oranges and reds and yellows and stuff.
Yeah.
Black body radiation to think.
So our atmosphere has a naturally occurring ozone layer. It's up there doing its job, catching all of this life-threatening radiation. And one day in the 1980s, everybody decided they saw that movie Hairspray and they thought, you know what, I'm going to do the same thing. And unfortunately, those hairsprays were filled with what they call chlorofluorocarbons. And all you need to know about that is that they bond aggressively to ozone. And your hairspray floats up to the ozone layer. So over time, we were stripping away our ozone layer and we didn't even really realize it until it was almost too late. So we do have a significantly weaker ozone layer.
Yep.
It does appear to be healing. It should go back to its original situation, but we don't know how long it's going to take to be back to full health.
The international ban on CFCs is one of the most effective scientific communication things to ever take place. Like, imagine if they could do that for other chemicals, how great that would be. But believe it or not, there's actually some places on Earth that naturally have less ozone. The big example of that is Australia. Skin cancer rates in Australia are insane because they don't have as thick of an ozone layer as the rest of the world.
Well, they're also out in the middle of the desert and like...
No, they literally have less of an ozone layer.
Ozone apparently smells a little sweet. That's just one of those things that happens. I don't know why. Photosynthesis, the one thing teachers always love to say in class. So photosynthesis is the process by which more oxygen is created by taking carbon dioxide, adding water, adding a little bit of sunlight, and we get oxygen. Also sugar as a fun byproduct. Thanks, plants.
As the main byproduct, actually.
Well, not for us. Not for us.
True.
The plants use the sugar. We use the air. And then we give them carbon dioxide. And then we pee on them to give them water.
True.
But not in bleach.
Well, the majority of oxygen that trees produce is actually consumed by them later in the day, or any organism that is just around the tree. And like, I read a study, it was like a 2-meter radius, something like that.
So we should get rid of trees.
Well, no, but plankton. So actually, that little guy from SpongeBob, they produce the majority of the world's oxygen that is consumed by animals. And they believe there's the Great Oxidation Event.
Well, the Great Oxidation Event was when all these plankton, photoplankton, started producing enough oxygen that the atmosphere of Earth was actually shifting towards having more oxygen, which killed off all the things that can't handle oxygen because, like we mentioned, it is so aggressive at taking things electrons that if like an organism evolved to not have oxidation, it will die if it's exposed to too much oxygen.
Yep. And the majority of our oxygen even today is still produced by marine little tiny organisms.
So if they want, they can just choose to make more oxygen and kill us off because we will not handle it.
True. Or we just got to start mass producing.
Kill all the plankton.
But thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh my God.